Well, it's just about 7 o'clock, y'all. It's time for our 10-minute tune-up. Come on, y'all. Let's get in. Let's get it going over on the conference line. What's up, everybody? What's up, 5606 on the conference line? How are you today? Appreciate you being on this morning. Hope everything is going well. Hope y'all had a great weekend. Had an amazing weekend. We're going to get our 10-minute tune-up started in just a minute. But we need some people to get in, man. Come on, tap somebody in, man. Text somebody. Give them a call or something and say, get on the stream on YouTube, on Facebook, so you can get your week off to a great start. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to a great week this week. Man, we have a lot of reflections that's going to be happening this week as it relates to Hurricane Katrina. Three days, man, 3 or 4 days, we'll be remembering 20 years. It's been 20 years since Hurricane Katrina. Now, the time passed by super fast. Time passes by super fast. But man, you never expect 20 years. 20 years have gone by since Hurricane Katrina. And in a lot of respects, a lot of people's lives have not returned to the normalcy that they had before Hurricane Katrina. Different, life is different after 20 years. Things are going to be different, but how we knew things and saw things years ago it's not that way anymore. So, but anyway, so what's up, man? What's going on, Elder Dexter? How are you? What's up, Sister Trina? Hey, Sister Nadia. What's going on, Sister Rhonda? Hey, how you doing, Sister Geraldine over on YouTube? Appreciate everybody being in. Let's just jump in. 5825 on our conference line. We're gonna talk a little bit this morning about a topic that's kind of had some controversy around it. I'm not pro or con either way. Some things I don't even have a typical opinion on. Some things I do, some things I have an opinion on, but some things I really try to stay away from, because at the end of the day, it's not going to either add or take away from life, right? And so some things I just I just care not to involve myself in as it relates to any thought process. I don't dispense or expend any brain matter in certain topics in certain areas. It's like, man, it is what it is, right? And so I just kind of move on with it. I don't be wasting a whole lot of time. But I thought it was interesting today to use this as a subject matter, because I think sometimes things in our lives affect us and we don't really know how they affect us. And so I'm gonna get my time started, and we're gonna get right into it. So let's see. Let's get my time, man. Okay. Y'all, my time, man. Don't look like it's getting started today. Well, guess what, y'all? We're not gonna have no time. We're gonna keep the time anyway. So I don't have my timer, but that's okay. We ain't gonna. I think did it start? I don't think my timer started. That's all right. That's all right. We're gonna roll on without the timer. So here's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about a subject that was in the news and has been generating some controversy, and it's around Cracker Barrel. Around Cracker Barrel, yeah, man. I was looking at the controversy, and I was thinking about that, and I was I was really kind of torn with, why is it such a problem for some people and not, businesses do what Cracker Barrel do all the time, um, and it doesn't draw as much controversy as this particular situation or this particular issue did. I don't know why it did. I'm not really concerned with why it did, I guess. I mean, some people have their own interpretation or opinion on why it's so controversial and what it really means and all that kind of stuff. But what I want to talk to you today about around that subject matter, which is branding, around the branding subject matter. Because basically, what the controversy was or is around Cracker Barrel is about branding. You know, a particular picture, logo that's associated with a company or an organization is a part of their branding. When you see that logo, you say, "Oh, I know that's that," right? When you see when you hear that slogan, you say, "Oh, I know it's that." That's tied to who they are, right? It's tied to who they are, and I think that a lot of times when it comes to ourselves, we don't think that we have anything like that. You know, we associate that with businesses or organizations or churches or something like that. You know, we try to brand ourselves with our Temple of Praise logo. We try to put everything that we do we try to put that logo on everything that we do because it's a sense of branding. And so when somebody sees that Temple of Praise logo, they can associate that product, that stream, or whatever, you know, that pamphlet or whatever we putting out. They associate it with the Temple of Praise, and that's what you want to do. You want people to not be, you don't want it to be ambiguous of who you are and what you're trying to say, right? And so when it comes to us in our personal lives, we generally don't think about think about branding, if you will. But at the end of the day, I think all of us have a sense of branding because when you look at the definition of branding and you think about the definition of branding, it really talks about what's your public image, right? A public image or a public identity. You know, everyone has a personal brand. When someone hears something about you, they say, "Oh yeah, that's that person." Why? Because that's their image, that's their identity, that's who they are, right? And so that's what they get from you. You can take the organizations, those of us that been that drink sodas, or we drink sodas. If you put blindfolds on us and you put the product of Coca-Cola and Pepsi in front of us, and you asked us to drink each one of those beverages and distinguish between the two, most of us will be able to do it. I dare say all of us will be able to do it. Why? Because it's a certain brand to it, right? Even if you look at if they showed you their cans, you would be able to say which company that is, not just by the name all the time, by the symbols around the names. If you took the name off and you had that royal blue can with the red and the white on the can, you would say, "Oh yeah, that's Pepsi." And if you had that red can with the little swirl emblem without the name of Coca-Cola on it, you would assume that was Coca-Cola even if the name wasn't on it. So there's certain things that's associated with branding. There's a lot of things that supports your branding. So people hearing about something that's associated to you identify that thing with you, right? And so a lot of us don't think that we have brandings, but we do. When people hear certain things, it's, you know, if they say, "Well, you heard about such and such," "Oh yeah, that sounds like them." Such and such said, "Oh, that sounds like something they'd say," right? That's a branding, right? And so when it comes to branding, when it comes to your brand, you pick your brand. And that's why when they was having a controversy over Cracker Barrel and that logo, it's like, man, you know, you get a chance, you pick your own logo. You know, you pick your branding. Each one of us pick our branding. We determine or we choose by our actions or what we say what we want people to identify us with. Some people like to be identified as a person. I'm a no nonsense person, right? I'm a serious person. That person don't, you know, it's not a whole lot of laughter, not a whole lot of fun with them. When I say they don't have fun, but there's not a whole lot of comedic play with them, right? They're generally their facade or their personality is really straight and stringent, right? And you identify, oh yeah, they don't play that. They ain't about no foolishness, right? And so you end up picking your you pick your brand and what you want people to see when it comes to you, you know, um, and you choose that, right? You choose what they are, and then you promote that. You promote your brand. What do you mean, Pastor? I promote my brand. Yeah. So you actually are the person. You're the person who put that brand out. When you do something, when you say something, when you act a certain way, the way you dress, how you present yourself, you're promoting your brand. You're promoting you, your identity, your image, your reputation. You promote that. You know, you promote that. So you, with whatever people know or remember about you, it's because of what you present to them. It's what you promote. It's what you put out there, right? And so that leads me to another area, which is of branding, which is protect. Man, you got to protect your brand. Man, you got to protect your image, your identity. You got to protect that because people will try to undermine your image, your reputation, or your identity, and you gotta try to do what you can to protect that. You have the responsibility to protect your own brand, right? You got the responsibility to do that. It's not nobody else. Now you will have people that will try to that'll try to cover you in certain situations, but you have the responsibility to protect that brand. If you have a certain if you have a certain persona and you're trying to display that persona around people, you want people to see you in this particular way or in that particular way. That's how you want them to view you. That's the image that you're putting out. Then you have to protect that image because here, let me tell you something. There's a lot of slander that's out. You know, we live in a sociological society. You know, our social norms today are not like they were 20 years ago, right? We are distant sociologically. You know, when it comes to social interaction, we're very distant. You know, we have this non-intrusive way of connecting with people. And that's what social media does. You know, you could actually have a beef with somebody and not even be in the same city. You know, it's like because you're doing it over these platforms that we solicit. And so you've got to protect your personality, your image. So, Pastor, what are you saying? What are you saying? You know, whatever you put out there on social media, man, you got to protect that. Man, you can't just put anything out there. And then when you put it out there and not want it to be identified with who you are, you know, your image, if you got a brand, man, you trying to present a particular brand. Now, you remember what I said earlier, you pick that brand, whatever that is, because that brand you choose is what people going to identify with you, right? Whatever that is, whatever you decide to put out there, whatever you decide to put out there on social media or whatever, or out there in the ethos and the atmosphere, whatever you choose to put out there, remember, that's what people are going to identify with you. They're going to associate that to you. That's going to be your image. So you pick that. And once you pick it, you got to be willing to protect it. Because at the end of the day, here's the last thing that I want to say about your branding. And you considering, because it's possible many of us, they haven't even thought about or considered whether or not, you know, we have a branding or a brand. Yeah, all of us have a brand. Now we don't do it. We don't think about it in a commercial sense. In other words, we don't think about our images or our identity when it comes to us commercializing it or being like a business or an organization. And I'm talking about from a personal perspective. We generally don't do that. But the truth of the matter is that your image is what people recognize you as, right? they identify you in that way, and they identify you and who you are based on what you put out there, what you promote. And so you're protecting that image is important, because at the end of the day, your profit and loss is going to be associated to your image. You're either gonna profit from the image that you have, or you're gonna have some losses because of that image, right? The type of image the type of branding, when I'm talking about branding, the type of branding that you have determines whether or not people want to be associated to you. This is just not commercial. This is personal too. We decide based on a company's branding whether or not we want to be associated with them. That's why when people was talking, this controversy with Cracker Barrel, if these people change their logo, they decided to change their logo, and if them changing their logo means that you're not gonna go to them anymore, then you make that decision. Yeah, you make that decision whether or not I ain't going to Cracker Barrel no more because I want the man. I don't understand why the man and the barrel ain't in the logo no more. Well, when the company did that, they had to be thinking, their promotional department had to be thinking, okay, how is this going to affect people? Are people not going to want to be associated with us because of us changing this logo? And to be honest with you, some people are like that, man. You change up some stuff on some people, man. They don't want to be bothered with you. Now, some people are not gonna go to Cracker Barrel no more. Why? Because they took the man and the barrel off the logo. Did the food change? The people never said the food changed. Food the same. You gonna still get that white gravy with that chicken fried steak. Yeah, you still gonna get that. You still, you still gonna get Pawpaw's breakfast. You gonna still get all of that stuff. The food didn't change. But because their presentation changed, now they might suffer some loss, but then they might suffer some profit too. Some people might say, okay, let me go check them out because of this controversy, because of them changing the logo. They done flipped it up. Let's go see what it's all about. So it might profit you. The protecting of your brand is really important. So at the end of the day, let me just say this. How we promote ourselves, how we present ourselves is critically important, because how we promote ourselves is all about our image and our identifying marks and our identity, what people see or hear or think when they see us. And believe it or not, that's important, especially for us, those of us that are Christians. We're supposed to be promoting a particular image, a particular identity. Our reputation is supposed to reflect who we are and what we are. All right? So make sure you protect that, man. Protect your image. Protect that brand that you have, because it could definitely end up being highly profitable to you. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great Monday. Go out there and stack up a lot of wins, because that's what God wants us to do. He wants us to win. He has made you more than a conqueror. And so you're not just supposed to win sometimes, man, you'll win all the time. When it looks like you're losing, you winning, because the person who you've partnered with is God. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great one. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And I'll see y'all in the next post.